year is 1821, and Mexico had finally won their independence from the Spanish Empire through victory in the Mexican War of Independence. But they were quickly thrown into decades of political instability. The country saw 20 presidents rise and fall over the next 20 years. Civil disorder, factional fighting for political power, and opportunistic global superpowers seeking ways to benefit from the turmoil left Mexico in a precarious position. By 1832, lawlessness was rife through the streets of Mexico City. One French pastry chef living in Tacubaya watched in despair as his Parisian-inspired bakery was looted, ransacked, and left ruined by drunk military officers. Monsieur Remontel decided to take his grievances to the very top. He begged King Louis-Philippe of France for assistance in getting compensation for his lost livelihood. Though being the defining incident as far as naming of the conflict is concerned, the attack on Remontel's pastry shop was just one in a long list of assaults against French citizens in Mexico. A series of assaults and murders took place over these dangerous and lawless years, and in 1835, several Frenchmen were shot dead, accused of siding with Texans fighting for their own independence from Mexico. The accusations were piling up, with tensions between the two countries quickly rising. On top of this, Mexico had borrowed huge sums of money to fund the unsuccessful war with Texas. Hoping to use a brutal show of force to bring Texas back under Mexican rule, President Santa Anna marched north in a campaign destined for disaster. His army was routed, and Santa Anna himself captured in 1836, then forced to acknowledge Texas as a free and independent state. Though Santa Anna was disgraced and exiled, France hadn't forgotten the money they were owed, and they were impatient for repayment. As tensions reached a boiling point, France demanded that reparations were paid to the aggrieved French citizens. The sum was set at a staggering 600,000 pesos, a fee that the Mexican government would not and frankly could not pay. In response, the French monarch sent a fleet of warships to blockade every port on the Gulf of Mexico. Led by Admiral Charles Baudin, the fleet seized the city of Veracruz, which was vital to Mexican trade. In December 1838, Mexico declared war. In order to bypass the blockade and continue their trade, Mexicans were smuggling goods through Texas, but this only made their situation worse when the United States responded by sending ships to help aid the French blockade. Sensing an opportunity for redemption, the possibility to restore his ruined reputation, the ex-president Santa Anna joined the defense of Veracruz. The city was bombarded with cannon fire. Heavy mortars rained down destruction, sowing devastation upon the fort that defended the city. Finally, unable to withstand any further punishment, the fort was forced to surrender, and the city was captured. Though unsuccessful in leading the defenders to withstand the attack, Santa Anna had restored his reputation and had taken his first step back towards total power in Mexico, ironically at the cost of his leg. After just a few months of war, Mexico was forced to back down, giving in to the French king's demands. And soon after, the government of Mexico collapsed, with Santa Anna seizing power once more. The huge financial damage inflicted by the Pastry War left a lasting impact, making victory in the Mexican-American War of 1846 impossible, and costing Mexico half of its territory in the peace negotiations. This was far from the end of hostilities with France, with the brief skirmish simply foreshadowing the far more costly Second French Intervention of 1864.